ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
నెక్స్ట్ కంటిన్యూషన్ ఇంక్యుబేషన్ పీరియడ్. Incubation period. What is the incubation period means? The time interval between the entry of the sporozoite into the person body to appearance of malarial symptoms at first is said to be as the incubation period. Definitely time interval between entry of sporozoite into person's body to first appearance of malarial symptoms is said to be as the incubation period. So definitely the duration which is required for completion of the free erythrocytic cycle, exoerythrocytic cycle and RBC cycle, that is simply we can call as the incubation period. Time interval between the entry of the sporozoite into the body to first appearance of malarial symptom means what? For example, if sporozoite is entered into the person's liver cell, then it continue free erythrocytic cycle within 8 days. Due to the completion of the free erythrocytic cycle, finally cryptozoites are released. If cryptozoites immediately entered into the RBC, if it can complete the erythrocytic cycle within 2 days, then after the 2 days, hemozyme is released into the blood of the person. By that way, on the 10th day, malarial symptoms are appears. Means what I am saying here that the time interval, time duration for completion of free erythrocytic cycle are 8 days. At the end of the 8th day, cryptozoites are released into the blood. If that cryptozoites immediately enter into the RBC, immediately that begins the RBC cycle, definitely within the 2 days from the RBC, hemozyme is released. So totally 8 plus 2, 10 days. On the 11th day, definitely malarial symptoms are appears in the person. So this entire duration is said to be as the incubation period. Definitely incubation period means time interval between the entry of the sporozoite into the person's body to first appearance of malarial symptoms. For example, if a sporozoite entered into the liver cell, if it can complete free erythrocytic cycle within 8 days. Definitely for completion of the free erythrocytic cycle, 8 days must be required. Then at the end of the free erythrocytic cycle, what are the data which are releases? Cryptozoites. For example, if these cryptozoites without entering into the new liver cell, if it is entered into the RBC, definitely RBC cycle is gets a begin. Erythrocytic zygogony is begin, that will completed within 2 days. Finally, hemozoin is releases along with the merozoites. That is the reason for appearance of the malarial symptom. Means definitely from the day of entry of the sporocyte into liver cell to appearance of the malarial symptoms, at first minimally how many days are required, means 8 plus 2, that is the 10 days. That is said to be as the incubation period. Otherwise, if this cryptozoite entered into liver cell, if it begin exoerythrocytic cycle, if it can be produces micrometacryptocytes, definitely without entering cryptocyte into the RBC, if it can be entered into the new liver cell to continue exoerythrocytic cycle, that will be completed within 2 days to produce micrometacryptocytes. If micrometacryptocytes begins the RBC cycle, then in this case, how many days are required for appearance of the malarial symptoms? Means 10 plus 2 plus 2. 12 days are required for appearance of the malarial symptoms from the entry of sporocyte into body. Ikkada, if in the case cryptocytes are not immediately entered into RBC, if cryptocytes are entered into new liver cell to continue exoerythrocytic cycle, definitely this cycle will be completed within 2 days. By that way, micrometacryptocytes are produced. If they entered into RBC directly, if they may be continue erythrocytic zygogony within 2 days, then after 2 days hemozyne is released into the blood of the person. By that way, how many days are required to appear the first malarial symptoms in the body from the day of entry of sporocyte? Means 8 days plus 2 days plus 2 days, totally 12 days. In that way, incubation period may be 10 days if cryptocytes are directly entered into RBC, then incubation period is 10 days. Otherwise, cryptocytes entered into new liver cell instead of RBC, then in such case, what is the incubation period? Means that is the 12 days. So that only we can say averagely it is between the 12 days to 14 days. Incubation period may be 10 to 14 days. Means from the entry of the sporocyte into the body to release the hemozyne into the blood to appear the malarial symptoms, at first how many days must be required? Means about 10 to 14 days. If in the case cryptocytes directly entered into RBC, then in such case within 10 days malarial symptoms must be appear. Instead of that, if this cryptocytes entered into new liver cell to continue exoerythrocytic cycle, then that will be completed within 2 days. By the end of that exoerythrocytic cycle, micrometacryptocytes are produced. If they begin RBC cycle, definitely within the 2 days RBC cycle also completed. Then after 2 days, hemozyne is releases. Finally, malarial symptoms are appear. Means if cryptocyte does not begin RBC cycle, if cryptocyte begins exoerythrocytic cycle, micrometacryptosite begin the RBC cycle. During that, what is the duration, what is the incubation period means, that is the 12 days. If cryptozoites begins the RBC cycle, during that incubation period is 10 days. 8 days plus 2 days, that is the 10 days. Otherwise, if this micrometacryptozoites begins the RBC cycle, then incubation period is 8 plus 2 plus 2 days, that is nothing but 12 days. So, in that way, what is the definition of the incubation period means? Time interval between the entry of the sporozoite into the person's body to first appearance of malarial symptom is said to be as the incubation period, that is about 10 to 14 days. This is the incubation period. Next, very important in NEET examination, what are the Saizoboni phases which are begins with what stage of Plasmodium? Definitely very important in NEET examination. This is very important table for NEET. Name of phase, name of the phase begins with, means with what stage entry, that is begins. Next, name of daughters produced finally. Name of the daughters produced finally. First phase of Saizoboni is the free erythrocytic cycle. Then with the entry of what stage it is begins? Sporozoite. With the entry of sporozoite, free erythrocytic cycle is gets begin. Due to the free erythrocytic cycle, again another column, duration of phase, duration of phase. So definitely due to the entry of the sporozoite into the liver cell, free erythrocytic cycle is gets begin. Finally, what are the daughters which are produced? Cryptozoites are first generated merozoites. Cryptozoites are also called as the first generated merozoites. What is the duration which is required for completion of the free erythrocytic cycle? 8 days. Next to exoerythrocytic cycle. Exoerythrocytic cycle. It is begins with entry of cryptozoites and metacryptozoites. With the entry of the cryptozoites or macrometacryptozoites, exoerythrocytic cycle is gets begin. Name of the daughters which are finally produced. Microcryptozoites, micrometacryptozoites, macrometacryptozoites. So what are the daughters which are produced finally due to the exoerythrocytic cycle? Micrometacryptozoites, macrometacryptozoites are produced finally. What is the duration which is required for completion? 2 days. Within 2 days, exoerythrocytic cycle is completed. Finally, erythrocytic cycle. Erythrocytic cycle. So, with the entry of what stages erythrocytic cycle begins means with cryptozoite, with micrometacryptozoites, with entry of hypnozoites, with entry of merozoites. Definitely, this erythrocytic cycle begins with the entry of the cryptozoite or with the micrometacryptozoite or with the hypnozoite. Reactivated macrometacryptozoite is said to be as the hypnozoite. Reactivated macrometacryptozoite is said to be as the hypnozoite. Reactivated macrometacryptozoite is said to be as the hypnozoite. Again, merozoites. After releasing the merozoites into the blood, merozoites re-attack RBC cell to continue some more erythrocytic cycles. In that way, RBC cycle begins with the entry of the cryptozoite, micrometacryptozoite, hypnozoite or merozoite. Finally, what are the daughters which are released as? Merozoites are releases. For completion of this cycle also, what is the duration which is required means that is 2 days. Definitely within the 2 days, this RBC cycle is also gets completed. Very, very important table in the NEET examination point of view. Definitely free erythrocytic cycle begins with the entry of the sporozoite into the liver cell. What are the daughters which are produced due to the completion of this free erythrocytic cycle means cryptozoites are first generated merozoite. What is the duration which is required for completion of the free erythrocytic cycle means that is the 8 days. Again, exoerythrocytic cycle begins with the entry of the cryptozoites and macrometacryptozoite. Definitely, after getting the producing the macrometacryptozoites, again they may be attack the fresh liver cell to continue some more exoerythrocytic generations. So that only this exoerythrocytic cycle begins with the entry of the cryptozoites and macrometacryptozoite. Daughters which may be produced due to the completion of this exoerythrocytic generation are micrometacryptozoites and macrometacryptozoite. This will be completed within 2 days. Again, definitely erythrocytic cycle is completed with the entry of the cryptozoites, begins with the entry of the cryptozoite or with the entry of the micrometacryptozoite or with the entry of the hypnozoite or with the entry of the merocyte. Hypnocyte nothing but reactivated macrometacryptocyte is said to be as the hypnocyte. Finally, what are the daughter cells which may be produced means merocytes. This also completed within 2 days. This is the one. Next, due to the repeated and repeated erythrocytic cycles, due to the repeated and repeated erythrocytic cycles, because at the end of the erythrocytic cycle, whatever the merocytes which are releases, that merocytes immediately attack new RBC, they immediately continue some more erythrocytic generations. So definitely after every 2 days, about 12 to 24 merocytes must be releases from each and every RBC, from each and every ruptured RBC. In that way, if this erythrocytic cycles are going on, after some time, this RBC number is decreases in the person. RBC number must be decreases in the person due to the repeated and repeated erythrocytic cycles. Because at the end of each and every erythrocytic cycle, RBC must be ruptured. RBC must be ruptured to release the merocytes into the blood, to release the hemozyme into the blood. So that only due to the repeated and repeated erythrocytic cycles, after some time RBC number is decreases in the blood of the person. After decreasing the RBC number in the blood of the person, merocytes which are present in the RBC of spleen, RBC of bone marrow, they may not furtherly continue erythrocytic cycle. Instead of that, they may be differentiated into the specialized stages. That kind of the stages are said to be as the gametocytes. That kind of the stages are said to be as the gametocytes. Due to the repeated and repeated erythrocytic cycles, definitely RBC number is decreases in the person's body, in the patient body. After decreasing RBC number in the person's body, this merocytes which are present in the RBC of spleen and bone marrow, definitely spleen is the gland. Spleen is the gland in our body. Bone marrow means red colored substance which is present in the bone of the person is bone marrow. This is the principal site for RBC production. Bone marrow is a principal site for production of the RBC in our body. Definitely red colored substance which is present in the bone is the bone marrow. Spleen is one gland which is present in our body. Definitely merocytes which are present in the RBC of spleen, RBC of bone marrow may not furtherly continue erythrocytic cytogony. Instead of that, they will be transformed into a specialized stages. They are said to be as the gametocytes. Definitely, whenever this merocytes are gets differentiated into gametocytes means whenever repeated and repeated erythrocytic cycles are going on, whenever the RBC number is decreases in the blood of the person, then only this merocytes which are present in the RBC of the spleen and bone marrow are gets differentiated into gametocytes instead of continuation of the erythrocytic cytogony. Then whatever the gametocytes which are present, these are of two types. One is said to be as the microgametocyte, or male gametocyte. Second one is said to be as the macrogametocyte or female gametocyte. Female gametocyte. Definitely these gametocytes are of two types. One is the microgametocyte or the male gametocyte. Second one is the macrogametocyte or the female gametocyte. So definitely this gametocytes shows differences in size and in amount of cytoplasm. Definitely in the microgametocyte is small in size. It is with big sized nucleus with little cytoplasm. Definitely microgametocyte or the male gametocyte is small in size with big sized nucleus with little cytoplasm. Definitely in the male gametocyte, it is small in size. It is with big sized nucleus, again with little cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is little in amount. If nucleus is present as the big, definitely cytoplasm amount is gradually decreases. So that only microgametocyte or the male gametocyte is small in size, that is with the big sized nucleus, that is with the little cytoplasm. But macrogametocyte or the female gametocyte is big in size. It is big in size. It is with a small sized nucleus. It is with a larger amount of the cytoplasm, which is rich with nutrients. Definitely macrogametocyte is large in size. This is the large in size. It is with a small sized nucleus. It is with a large amount of cytoplasm, which is rich with nutrient. Definitely in the case of the cytoplasm, nutrient materials are rich. So in that way, macrogametocyte or the female gametocytes are big in size. They are with the small sized nucleus. They are with a large amount of the cytoplasm, which is rich with the nutrient material. In that way, finally, in the RBC of the spleen or in the RBC of the bone marrow, merocytes which are present, they are finally differentiated into the gametocytes. Later, these gametocytes are released into the blood of the person. From the spleen and bone marrow, these gametocytes are released into the blood of the person. Whenever these gametocytes are released into the blood of the person, these gametocytes may not be furtherly developed in the case of the human. These gametocytes have to be entered into the female Anopheles mosquito body for the further development. Definitely for the further development of these gametocytes, human body is not favorable, because human body temperature is 37 degrees centigrade is the body temperature. At this temperature, these gametocytes are not gets furtherly undergoes the development. Again, pH of blood, that is the 7.4 for the further development of the gametocytes in the human body. Definitely, this gametocytes may not be furtherly undergoes the development in the human body. They have to be reaches into the female Anopheles mosquito for their further development. What are the factors which are unfavorable for the development of the gametocytes in the human body means 37 degrees centigrade body temperature of the human is unfavorable for the further development of the gametocytes in our body, and the pH of the blood, that is 7.4, is also unfavorable for the further development of the gametocytes in our body. So that only they have to enter into female Anopheles mosquito for the further development. Definitely during this, whenever these gametocytes are released into the blood of the person, during this, whenever the female Anopheles mosquito bite that person for sucking of the blood, during the sucking, along with the sucking blood, these gametocytes are entered into the crop of the mosquito. Definitely whenever this person is bitten by the female Anopheles mosquito, whenever female Anopheles mosquito bite this person for sucking of the blood, definitely along with the blood, these gametocytes are entered into the crop of the mosquito. What is the crop means? Just assume this is the mosquito, this is said to be as the crop. In the case of the mosquito digestive system, this is said to be as the crop. This is the crop, this is the gizzard, this is the midgut. This is said to be as the midgut. Definitely, this wider sac which is present in the mosquito alimentary canal, wider sac which is present in the alimentary canal of mosquito, that is said to be as the crop. So, at first, whenever the female Anopheles mosquito bite a person in which these gametocytes are present in the blood, during this sucking of blood, along with the blood, these gametocytes are reaches into the crop of the mosquito at first. Later, in mosquito crop, they may be undergoes the further development. So definitely, what is the development of gametocytes in female Anopheles mosquito? What is the development of the gametocytes in female Anopheles mosquito is said to be as the mosquito phase. This is also called as Ross cycle. This is also called as the Ross cycle. Mosquito phase or Ross cycle means whenever the gametocytes are formed in a person blood, whenever the gametocytes are appears in the blood of the person, whenever female Anopheles mosquito bite that person for sucking of the blood, along with the blood, that gametocytes also reaches into the crop of the mosquito. Definitely not only the gametocytes alone reaches into the crop of the mosquito. Amoeboid stage, trophozoite, merozoites, cryptozoites, all other stages also may be reaches into the crop of the mosquito along with the gametocytes. But all other stages immediately gets degenerated inside of the crop of the mosquito, only gametocytes are gets survived. Definitely during the sucking of the blood from the person, alone gametocytes may not be gets entered into the crop of the mosquito. Along with the gametocytes, other stages such as the cryptozoites, other stages such as the merozoites, other stages such as the trophozoites, they also may be entered into the crop of the mosquito during the sucking of the blood. But other stages are completely digested. Either the cryptozoite, either the merozoite, either the trophozoite of the plasmodium or gets digested in crop of the mosquito, only this gametocytes are gets alone survive. Only gametocytes are gets alone survive in the crop of the mosquito, but other stages such as the cryptozoite, merozoite, trophozoites are completely digested. Then this gametocytes continue sexual phase of the life cycle in the female Anopheles mosquito. Then what are the steps? What are the sequential steps which maybe appears in the mosquito phase? Means first step is gametogamy. Gametogamy is the first step in life cycle of the female Anopheles mosquito. Second step is the fertilization is the second step. Third step is the formation of ookinet and oocyst. Formation of the ookinet and oocyst. Fourth one is the sporogamy. So what are the sequential steps which may be completed, which may be occurs in the female Anopheles mosquito body? Means one is the gametogamy, second one is the fertilization, third one is the formation of ookinet or oocyst, third one is the sporogamy. So first ఎంత వచ్చింది?